Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, I'm running a little bit late. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Crystal, and I'm the founder of Fertility Blooms. It's giving me notices. Good. I am a fertility coach. I am a holistic nutritionist, and I am a Nutriforia alum. And I just wanted to say thank you to the team at Nutriforia for inviting me to do this talk today. I don't think I've done an Instagram live since like pre-COVID, so it's a little bit different for me. I used to do a ton of them, and here we are. So thank you, Michelle and the team. So first, we are going to be talking about fertility and the link between fertility and gut health for sure. I just wanted to say that fertility is all I do with the nutrition side of things. Fertility and nutrition kind of always went hand in hand. I actually went through a long journey with fertility, and during it, I started taking courses and understanding all the missing pieces and the things that either your practitioners or your doctors or whatever might be missing, and I tried to pull everything together and started coaching people. And then what happened was I realized that the big link was food, and food was making the biggest difference when anybody would have a fertility journey. I could fix it and it would move the needle the most. So I went back to school, signed up with Nutriforia because I love the program. I love the online learning. I love the portals. I just thought it was a great platform. So here I am. So that's the reason. And during my own fertility journey, I had a doctor say, don't worry about nutrition if your BMI is fine, which sounds crazy, but she did. If your BMI is fine, your fertility is fine, and you don't have to worry about nutrition, and you can eat whatever you want, which we all know is so ludicrous, but that's what it was. I then went to a naturopath because fertility treatments were not working. And the naturopath told me, basically cut down my food to like kidney beans, broccoli, and water. And I was dying. I had no caffeine and just cut out everything. And it was horrible. It was my worst IVF cycle ever. So now when I work with clients, I know there's a huge difference in what they eat and how they eat and what's going on in their bodies. So that's why I work with fertility clients, and I love it. I love getting those positive text messages from girls that got pregnant or have a positive test, or their pee sticks show 2 positive lines. Best feeling in the world, and walking through their whole journey with them is really nice too. So today we are going to talk about gut health and fertility because there's a huge connection and often it's missed. And right now there's a lot of buzz on gut health and fertility and all those things, and nobody really knows what to believe, what tests to take, what to eat, and there's so much misinformation. So I'm going to try to clarify some things, and I'll tell you what we do at Fertility Blooms, and we can go from there. So why gut health matters for your fertility. First of all, gut health is critical because everything is controlled in your gut. Your hormones are balanced, how your nutrients are absorbed in your body, how much inflammation in your body exists. That's all because of your gut right here. So when most people think about gut health, they think about like digestion or bowel movements or bloating. That's what I often hear, but it's much more. It controls your hormones, your inflammation, how your body absorbs nutrients, your immune function, your mood, and your stress. All of those are critical factors, including controlling the egg quality and the sperm quality and the health of your baby. So it's really important, and I think it's one of the biggest things that we should do when we are struggling with infertility. So that's one of the things we start with in the Fertility Blooms program. So let's talk about hormone balance and estrogen, how that plays a role into everything. So your gut health helps metabolize and eliminate estrogen. As well as progesterone. So those always need to be in balance. And when we have poor gut health, we can't get rid of that extra estrogen. And that's when you'll find things like estrogen dominance, bad PMS, irregular cycles, hormonal acne, ovulation changes, or even not even ovulating. So all of those things will be affected if your gut health is not right. So that is probably the biggest one we try to fix. And why? Because we want your estrogen and your progesterone balanced. We want them flowing at the right time so we have regular cycles. So step number one, obviously, for fertility, and I love that one. Then chronic inflammation. That is a big one. Inflammation, I always used to say, I think I still say, is the biggest cause for infertility. So that's one of our pillars, and we try to bring your inflammation down, and obviously with food and supplements and diet. So when we have a balanced microbiome, our inflammation levels go down, and when our inflammation's down, that can improve your egg quality and your sperm quality. It'll make you ovulate properly. It will help you implant. A lot of failure to implant an embryo or a natural conception is often from inflammation. So that's one. And also endometriosis and PCOS. Your symptoms are so bad when your inflammation is high, especially when it's rooted in the gut. So that's one of the things we always want to take a look at. So if your body feels inflamed, if you're not having like regular bowel movements, if you are noticing different things, we should probably connect, and we can walk you through and see what makes sense for you. And the other thing is nutrient absorption. So you can eat perfectly, and people come to us all the time and say, my diet is this, and I eat really clean, and they probably do. But if there's a problem in their microbiome and in their gut, they are absorbing nothing. So that is the big problem right there. So we need the healthy bacteria and the bad bacteria in your gut, so we know that you're absorbing the quality and the nutrients of the food you're eating. So eggs and sperm really rely on that. So nutrients like iron and folate and B vitamins, antioxidants, zinc, omegas, those all will not be absorbed if you don't have proper gut health. So there's another reason. And then the gut and the brain, those are really connected so closely, and a lot of us don't notice that. So when digestion is off, it can show up as like food cravings, mood swings, anxiety, fatigue, poor sleep, irregular cycles. So it's not just like living with a bad gut, or as I mentioned, most people just think bloating. It also links to our stress levels and even depression. So it's really good to take care of that part of it too. So what is the gut and what, like the microbiome? So I'll just go into that for anybody that may not know. The gut microbiome is a collection of trillions of bacteria and microorganisms, living in your digestive tract. These microbes influence digestion, nutrients absorption, hormone metabolism, inflammation, immune regulation, all of that, and all of those things support your fertility. So when one's out of balance, it can sabotage your whole fertility journey. So there's another reason. Now, I mentioned a few of them as I've been going along, and I apologize, I do talk really quickly. But, however, here are some signs that may be affecting your fertility. And common signs I see is the bloating, or irregular digestion, or heartburn, stomach burn, those kind of things. Poor bowel movements, or even lack of bowel movement. So we should be having a bowel movement every day or multiple times a day is healthy for us. Fatigue and low energy. So a lot of times people won't know where their fatigue is coming from, and they'll say to me, I sleep well, like I have my Oura ring and it's saying I'm sleeping well, and they still have no energy. And we'll check things like their vitamin D and their iron levels, and those will be all fine. But the problem is in their gut. And once we can correct those issues, their energy levels will increase. So it's often a hidden thing that we don't necessarily always look for. The other thing is skin issues. People will have like chronic acne, or like their skin will look like patchy and dry and oily in spots, and it's just very overwhelming because they say they tell me they're like using the best products, or they're doing this for their skin, and their skin looks horrible. Well, that's telling me it's a gut issue for sure. Chronic stress, that's a big one. As well, as we know, stress plays such an important part in our lives, and it controls so much. And for fertility, we're always told just relax. Well, that doesn't work. However, if it's stress because of the microbiome in your head and everything's not talking, well, we do work on that, and it helps bring down your stress levels. So that's one of the things we can do in Fertility Blooms. Your PMS or your cycles are irregular. That's telling me a lot of PCOS symptoms, and a lot of unexplained infertility can often be linked to the microbiome. So if we can balance that with good bacteria and bad bacteria and get everything working together and have a really good microbiome, everything goes smoothly from there. And it's one of the signs your body's telling you something is wrong. The one good thing is we can always fix it. So I do love working with gut issues because we can fix it. And when we can fix something easily with food and the right nutrients and supplements and things like that, everything comes into place, and it just makes everything more meaningful. So there's that. Inside the Fertility Blooms program, we do gut and microbiome testing. There's a few companies that we use that we love, and what those tests show us is bacterial balances, inflammation markers, how the body's digesting and absorbing the foods, nutrient breakdowns, and gut permeability. So those are some of the things that it checks on. Testing also gives us clarity, so we can stop guessing, and we can actually look at a plan from those results and show what's actually helping. What can Fertility Blooms do to fix the gut issues? Well, how we heal the gut and support the gut is never about like extremes or restrictions, especially when fertility is the goal. So with fertility, we always don't want any drastic changes. So that goes for if you're a runner, don't stop running, or if you love eating X or Y, don't stop it cold turkey, because that's the biggest sabotage you can do for your fertility. And we're going to do that to support your gut as well. We're going to take it nice and slow approach. It's a little bit frustrating because a lot of times anybody struggling with infertility, they always want to accelerate, and they always think it's going slower than we're trying to, and we try to slow them down a lot of times. And it's not us just trying to slow you down just because we want to keep you slow. It's because we're doing the right thing to support your body and making sure you have a healthy pregnancy. So often support looks like we will remove any irritants in your body or any stressors that we can see right away. So we will remove those things if we know you're eating processed lunch meats, or if you're drinking Diet Coke or whatever that might be, we'll remove those things. And then we're going to restore nutrient status. So we're going to start like adding the good. So hopefully the good will outweigh the bad. So if any of you have seen that, it's like an Instagram or a social media post, you'll have a glass of water with like the muddy water kind of thing. We try to like clear the muddy water with a whole bunch of good foods in there instead of drastically changing something that you're used to eating all the time. And we'll support the digestion with foods and things like that. And balance the gut bacteria with supplements and gut healing foods. And we try to reduce that inflammation from there with exercise and meditations and a whole holistic lifestyle, if you will. Regulating the nervous system is another key. At Fertility Blooms, we look at like the whole body and the whole person, and then your partner, because male gut health, actually, that's 50% of the male, and that can affect the health of your child and the chances of you conceiving too, because of the quality of sperm. So we want to make sure both the guy and the woman both have really good microbiomes, because that's really key to the health of your baby in the future. So that's one. So I want to give you 5 actionable steps that you can do today to start healing your gut. So one is eat enough and eat regularly. So lately I've been seeing a lot of people under eating. So they undereat with stress, and it's really havoc on your gut and your hormones. So your body needs constant fuel to support that ovulation and to support like a healthy pregnancy. So that's the main thing. And then don't fear carbs and fats. So carbs support ovulation and gut mobility. So we really want some carbs, but healthy carbs. And fats, I say eat an avocado a day. And the fats help your hormones and protect your gut lining. So please keep those in. Those restrictions often backfire. So we always want to keep carbs and healthy fats in our diet when we're trying to conceive. And then my favorite saying, I believe, is eat the rainbow. So your microbiome thrives on variety, not repetition. So eating the same vegetables every day does not help and feed your gut or the bacteria living in your gut, so it can't thrive. So eating the rainbow, the more colors and the more plants you eat, it's the more diversity your microbiome is getting, and you'll feel a lot better. So when you go to the store, we often play a little game inside the Fight Club, and I want everybody to try different fruit for the week or different vegetable for the week. And it's kind of fun because there's a lot of things at the supermarket we don't even look at because we don't know what it is. So we often suggest that. And when you eat the rainbow, it just improves your digestion, it supports your metabolism, it reduces inflammation, and therefore it enhances your fertility. And then we often recommend including prebiotic foods. So that feeds your good bacteria. So those are things like garlic and leeks and onions and asparagus and bananas and some oats. I always like to make sure they're non-GMO and organic. And then we have the probiotic foods that you've probably all heard. So we have things like yogurt and kimchi and kefir and sauerkraut, kombucha, miso, all those kind of things, fermented vegetables. Those are all amazing. So we always recommend that. And then we also recommend using high quality supplements. And that's like my big thing. Please don't buy inexpensive supplements when you are trying to fix something because your body just won't absorb them and you're just like peeing them out. So no point. So a high quality prebiotic and probiotic we always recommend, and your gut needs those to thrive and keep the maintenance. So those are some of the things. The other thing is support your gut lining. So for me, we love our bone broth, and I make sure all of our Fertility Fight Club girls are drinking bone broth every day. And we have a recipe. If you guys want a recipe, you can message me at the Fertility Blooms Instagram account because we've shared that before, and it's a really good homemade recipe for bone broth. Or you can buy it in a package or in the tubs, whatever you work. But it is really good. It just really helps reduce inflammation, and it supports your digestion. It helps you absorb your nutrient levels, and it's really, really like you'll just feel nourished and grounded and incredibly effective in getting your microbiome good. So then a couple other things on the holistic side, because like I mentioned, we look at the whole body and the whole person at Fertility Blooms. So that's on the food side to heal it. But we also look at chronic stress to help because we know that's disrupting your hormones and everything that we need for our fertility. So we always suggest like daily walks and morning sunlight and breath work and just to regulate our nervous system and just get our fertility, everything in balance. So there's that. And gut health, it impacts everything. So our hormones and our inflammation and everything, our mood and our energy levels, and all of these things play into a role into our fertility. So when one's out of balance, it just like makes everything like this. And sometimes it's just those simple changes that can really help get us pregnant the next month or a successful IVF cycle. So we really encourage you to do that. And it's one of the most responsive and fixable things we can do for our body. So that's why, as I mentioned again, I love working with gut health because we can fix it. And just those little changes that we can do to our daily routines and our daily diet will create like massive shifts and often get you pregnant really fast and feeling good. Even if you're not trying to conceive, you will feel good once your body's going with your mind and gut. So inside Fertility Blooms and a Fertility Fight Club, we call our group the Fight Club girls because we are all warriors and gladiators. We guide women step by step to support their gut health and their fertility in a realistic and effective and a sustainable way. So we try to wrap everything all in one. So if you have a fertility journey and you're feeling stuck, or you need a missing piece and you think your gut may be in, I really would love you to reach out to me or somebody that's working in gut health to see what you can do to fix it quickly. And we support everything, your cycles, your energy, and everything to get you that healthy baby in the family you want. So I think that's everything for now. Thank you, Michelle and the Nutriphoria team. And if you guys have any questions or need any more information on our programs or gut health, reach out to us at Fertility Blooms on Instagram or our website, and we'd love to chat with you. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.